EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, we wrap up Week 11 with a good Monday Nighter between the Green Bay Packers and the Atlanta Falcons. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. From the end zone comes Chris Claybrooks to return. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Well, this defense for the Falcons, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Anderson off the play fake. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 16 yards, a little deja vu from the previous play where they got 16. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And they'll work this down inside the 30. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
Anderson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw again, Anderson. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now to Mechie on the jet sweep. And he coughed it up, and the Falcons grab it.
let's face it, everybody at the start of the game has a mental image of how they expected to go, and I think that was going exactly as they scripted it offensively. Moving the ball well, seemingly in control, and that fumble, that's got to be a little bit deflating, don't you think?
Yep, foiled the whole plan there, turned the ball over. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. McCann. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That good for 19 and a first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. McCann. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. The Falcons at 9-1 on the year. They've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
And partner, to me, this is a team that no matter what the matchup, they're up for the fight. They are really suited for the postseason the way they're playing right now. And I would not want to face them come playoff time.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Up the middle they go. McCann. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 54 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation we were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Now a give, right side. McCann. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. Can see this quite a bit on running plays where the guy's out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
On 2nd and 15 now. Fields. This is caught. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Boy, this is a well-orchestrated drive they've put together. You think back to how far they were backed up to start things out, but they've gone on a march since then, and now after that completion there, they've got a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. Now a handoff up the middle. McCann, and he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Now the try here for the play after. He hasn't missed an extra point all season, and he won't miss this one either, and it's 7-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Clay Brooks going to bring this one out. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They had to fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Anderson buying time to his left. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. A young quarterback, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Anderson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field, and it took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Anderson. Looking downfield for Jones. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Jackson. And the Falcons are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice.
The The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. McCann. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Here's Fields. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. This thrown quickly out to Jones. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a 1st down on the play.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
On 1st and 10, Anderson. And it's a Packers touchdown. A.J. Brown hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Packers are an extra point away from evening this one up. Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing. The answer can be yes, because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it, and let's go with it.
Fields throw into the hands of Pitts here. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 14 yards there and a Falcon first down.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
On first down, McCann. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Nice chunky yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, Fields. Throwing out right here, caught by Olave. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. Up the middle they go. McCann. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 84 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Second down, McCann. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Now it's Fields. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Koo knocks this one through the post. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Clay Brooks going to bring this one out. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, the football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage, while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Anderson. And his This throw's going to be incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Looking to throw. Anderson forced out to his left. And that will be incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Here's Pat O'Donnell on now to punt it away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. On the return, it's Tate. 35 yards that time on the punt. And it will be Falcon football. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the #1 goal? Make the playoffs. #2, win your division. #3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the #1 seed so you get that first-round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
On 2nd down now, McCann. 110 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. They'll run on 1st down. McCann. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Certainly appeared like they had a great chance of that turning into a touchdown, but maybe led him just a bit too much.
Yeah, out of the back of the end zone. That's tough on a 5-yard pass, but one of that distance, that can be tough to gauge when you're in the back of the end zone. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now a handoff up the middle. McCann. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Koo knocks this one through the post. And that will do it for this first half. So we're at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead now, a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them, too.
And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. They'll keep it on the ground. McCann. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. A gain of 9, not enough, and it's 4th down. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come.
He's got a man complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 39 yards there, a big one. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is. His ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Now Anderson to throw on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. to throw. Anderson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
And his kick is good. And the deficit trimmed to 6 now at 16-10. So 3 points, maybe not a grand prize at this stage, but it does get them back within 1 score.
It certainly does, because now they stay within shouting distance. So that means everyone on your sideline stays engaged in this game. They know they still have a shot.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. 131 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll keep it on the ground. McCann. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
On 3rd down, McCann uses the stiff arm, and he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On 1st down, McCann. He fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Oh, nice defensive effort there, providing the hit as the ball got to the receiver, separates him from the catch, and normally he's a sure-handed target.
They'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. To throw is Fields. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Fields, we know he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the first down.
He's been patient this entire game, waiting for the perfect moment to surprise them with a quarterback keeper. There he catches him off guard and converts his first rush of the game into a first down. Gotta love that efficiency.
A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They run the option on second down. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Now Fields. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
They were backed up behind the sticks, but he still found a way to make that first down happen. That's the kind of fight every coach hopes his franchise quarterback has in him. Look a tough situation like that in the eye and come up with a solution on the spot.
They'll run on first down. McCann. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Fields. Touchdown! Kyle Pitts, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. And that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Clay Brooks going to bring this one out. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want a drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants a drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it. Caught by
Jones. And he'll only only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he's got room. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right, they did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got
trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers, and the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you're identifying it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
On 3rd down, McCann. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They run the counter. McCann. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
They'll keep it on the ground. McCann. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Now a give right side. McCann. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
On 3rd down, McCann. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle. A 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now a throw here, hauled in. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. They'll look to throw again. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Falcons are going to have it here at their own 15.
Well, time, certainly not on their side offensively. They had to take some chances, but that interception will further hinder their already slim chance at victory.
Yeah, and you're talking about time not on their side, but it certainly is on the defense's side, and they understood that. They knew they had to press it a little bit, and they planned accordingly, and what a benefit for them, able to pick that one off and hopefully put this game away.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Back to the ground, this time Cook. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Third down, here's a run by Cook.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as it comes with 1:15 left to go in the second half. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And it'll be Packer football here, 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the...
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
And the Falcons will take over here just shy of the 30.
If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. And they'll indeed take a knee.
Let's go. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
The Falcons in victory formation as they take a knee.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker and throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, that's to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So for Atlanta, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they come back to the pack a bit as their record falls to 7-3. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals.